Good morning, and thank you for joining us today for the second part of our digital transformation webinar series. If you're interested and you missed it the first time around, you're welcome to take a look at the first webinar that was focused in on claims and customer service processing on our website or our YouTube channel. My name is Emma Roloff, and I'm an account executive here at Navient. And before we get started, I just want to touch on some of our interaction options. Everybody on the line is muted today because the presentation is being recorded, but please feel free to type any questions or comments that you have into the chat box, and we'll be sure to address them as we go. And at the end of the webinar, as you exit, you'll be prompted with a survey, so please feel free to give us any comments or feedback that you have there as well. So with that, there we go. I want to dig into our presentation today. We're really going to be focusing on new business processing and underwriting. And we're going to start by just discussing some industry trends and predictions that show the importance of business transformation for insurance organizations. Then we're going to spend the bulk of our time really focusing in on how an enterprise information management platform can reduce the time to decision and give your organization the competitive advantage needed to grow. To get us started, I want to touch on some industry trends and some of the discussions that we've been having with different folks within the industry and what analysts are saying as they make predictions in the future. So according to Novarica's predictions, insurtechs are not going to put major insurers out of business. But that doesn't mean that we can kind of rest back and start to get lazy. What they are already doing and what they will continue to do is raise the bar on customer experience and expectations for process efficiency. Insurance carriers have a number of different options of how they can take this news and interact with technology in the changing market. And really, the first of which of those options is to do nothing. But for those of us that are on the webinar and insurers that are hoping to continue to strive into the future and continue to grow, now's the time to use technology to really transform and grow your organization, rather than simply staying afloat and marking yourself as an acquisition target. Taking a growth stance allows insurers to begin using innovative business practices across their entire organization. So there's really three approaches to innovation that Novarica identifies. And in the area of new business and underwriting, we're seeing carriers use data to begin to leverage predictive scoring. They're stepping into the digital age by managing their new business processes with paperless workflows and integration, and then finally integrating with core line of business applications to allow for skill-based routing. Today, we're really going to focus in on the digital transformation component in the middle, outlined in blue, and focus on how enhancing these capabilities within your organization can really set you apart as the carrier of choice. So the question becomes, what's the first step into making a digital transformation, and how do I get there? Whether you're a P&C, a health, or a life carrier, your underwriter's number one goal is to write profitable business for the company. But when the underwriter is constantly searching for information or toggling back and forth between different systems, and in some cases even chasing down physical files and paper within the organization, it's not easy for them to obtain the information necessary to make a decision, but it's even more difficult for them to ensure that they're reviewing accurate data and that they're going to be able to meet their goal for quick, timely decisions. Insurance companies are working harder now than ever before to become the insurance carrier of choice for their brokers and agents and clients. And this isn't anything new to anybody that's on the line, but one of the ways that insurers are doing this is by issuing business faster and more accurately than their competition. But to do this, they have to strike the perfect balance between making quick decisions and properly reviewing each underwriting decision to contain costs and appropriately evaluate risk. OnBase gives insurers a way to even out the scale and that balance and manage their new business processes quickly and more accurately. Underwriting review must be thorough, but decisions must be made quickly, and OnBase provides a 360-degree view of clients' policies, claims, and all associated documents. And because OnBase integrates with different line of business applications, underwriters are able to access information from a number of different applications and data streams, all within a single interface. OnBase dramatically decreases processing time while leveraging things like parallel processing and automation of business processes. It's allowed some of our customers to increase their new business capacity by 280%. I like this core systems map that Noverica has released for insurance companies because I think it gives a really great visual breakdown of those key areas of innovation and how they impact the day-to-day business of an insurance organization. So the areas outlined in orange really take a look at data and analytics. The green components outlined there really focus in on core systems that have a specific process in mind, like your policy administration system. But really what I want to take some time to talk about is the areas that are outlined in blue. And this is where we're looking at those digital capabilities that we're discussing today. Focusing on those areas in blue, you'll see that they touch almost every other area within the organization. And we're able to see that the customer and agent communication, along with documents and process management, really kind of hug the rest of the core applications within an insurance organization. And these heavy volumes of digital communication are still managed with email and faxes and physical paper, leading to disjointed, inconsistent processes that slow insurers down. Using an enterprise information management system like OnBase allows for seamless management of documents, data, and processes to drive your business. So before we dive into kind of the key capabilities that we're going to touch on today, I want to take a look at a new business process flow and kind of paint the picture of what a new business process would look like within OnBase. So starting off, we're looking at ingesting the application submissions in whatever form they may come in, whether that's a physical piece of paper, an email, an electronic file from your web portal, or in some cases, a Cord XML files. We can ingest all of those documents regardless of how they're received and bring them into a workflow engine within OnBase. That workflow engine allows an underwriting assistant to review the application for completeness by using a foldering system within OnBase that dynamically generates policy folders and helps identify where documents that are needed that may be missing. They're able to check against compliance rules and really use the system to automate and offset some of those labor-intensive processes that slow down the process of getting an application into an underwriter's hands. Using integrations with policy admin solutions, those underwriting assistants can review the application for completeness and set the application up within the policy administration system and push the work on throughout the organization electronically and route it to the underwriter. Once the underwriter has that application, they have a 360-degree view of all of the information that they need to make a decision, whether that's checklists and timers that help them manage the process and stay consistent, making sure that they're never missing a step and always meeting their service level agreements, to managing all of the documents and data that are held within the system. And integrating with third-party applications, again, like the policy administration system or websites that allow them to do background checks and credit checks. We're able to gather all of the data and information surrounding the decisions and the processes and report on that information either during the process of the decision making or after the fact to make sure that we're meeting goals. Once a decision has been made, or if there's communication that needs to take place between an agent and a carrier, we're able to publish information and push documents and data out through a portal and electronically store and manage all of that information within the system on the back end as well. So that process flow kind of talked about the new business process as a whole at a high level, but I really want to focus in on 4 key areas of that process that I think make the biggest impact for an insurer. First of which is the easy to use interface that OnBase has. So for those of you that aren't familiar with the OnBase platform, you'll get an idea of the look and feel for it. Then we're going to touch on the idea of reducing the need to search across different data sources and how this can help your underwriters become more efficient. And then finally, looking at the increases in consistency and visibility. So, OnBase can provide access to documents and information surrounding an application, all from one single interface, regardless of where the content originated or its format. And the solution also offers personalized interfaces to increase productivity even further. So for those of you that have not seen OnBase before, this is what we call our Unity client, and it's modeled after the look and feel of Microsoft Office products. So you'll see at the top on every screen, there's going to be large task buttons that help call out the activities and the tasks that users can execute within the system, from workflow to retrieving a document. And it's, again, cuts down on training and makes people that much more comfortable as they come into the application at the very beginning. Then we can take a look at the personal pages. Down below there are the tiled interfaces. And this is looking at things like searches and workflow queues or specific cases that are being managed by an individual can all be held within this personal page. So that as they log in, they have an immediate pulse of all the work that needs their attention, and the tasks that need to be completed most are right there and available for them. Searches, documents, folders, and cases can all be added directly to a user's personal page, or it can be set up at an administrative level so that all of your underwriters have the same view when they log in. If we start to think about this in a new business scenario, say you are waiting for further information for a specific application and you know it's about to come back or it's a high priority, you could put that specific application or that folder onto your personal page for quick reference so that you always have a pulse on what's going on within that process. Users can also interact with Microsoft Outlook with OnBase directly from Outlook. They can do searches for documents, upload content, launch processes, and execute workflow tasks without having to leave their email. So in the case of a new business process, maybe your underwriting assistant doesn't need to go into the Unity client to execute the tasks that they need. They can interact with workflow directly from within here. Email addresses can be mapped to specific applications or policies so that when we select an email, we can populate the information and all of the content that's held within OnBase directly within Outlook so that you know what's going on with that application as soon as you open that email and you see that maybe they've attached the request or the information that you've requested to finalize processing of their application. The biggest benefit that comes from using OnBase within the new business process is this idea of reducing the need to search. When we're able to pull in documents and data from multiple streams, OnBase is able to provide instant access to all of the policy information and application information that an underwriter needs, regardless of how or when it's been ingested. We're able to pull all of the information into one place to provide a 360-degree view of the documents and data and processes that are needed to make a decision. Bringing all that information into the repository early allows for OnBase to become the single point of truth so that you can be sure that information that's being reviewed is always accurate. OnBase provides underwriters and underwriter assistants with that 360-degree view that I've mentioned. And really the idea of this is bringing all of the documents and data to the knowledge worker rather than having that knowledge worker seek out that information. It saves an incredible amount of time bringing it all into one place. Emails and scanned documents, external data feeds, as well as notes and conversations can all be held within one system and be available at the touch of a finger. Once a user is within OnBase, they can toggle back and forth between the screens that hold all the information that they need using tabbed interfaces, rather than having to go back and forth between different applications. They just need to click back and forth. And in some cases, we can even add tabs that allow them to interact with the content, and add notes and create diary items for the applications as they go as well. All types of documents and images and data can be held within the system in its native file format, so that everything that you need, whether it's a picture or a cord form or an application that's specific to your website, is available all within one place. OnBase also offers insurers the ability to integrate with external systems, such as an AS400 green screen application, allowing them to use information held within OnBase to enter new applications into the policy admin solution. Integrating with these green screen applications gives insurers the opportunity to take a step forward into that digital age that we've been talking about and leverage all of the capabilities and flexibility that OnBase has to offer without having to make the same large investment associated with a complete policy admin solution overhaul. If you've already made the jump to a new policy administration system like Guidewire or Duck Creek in the P&C area, or Life Pro in the life insurance market, we can integrate with those applications as well to really offer a seamless solution that steps beyond the capabilities of either OnBase or your policy admin solution alone to provide you with even more capabilities. An increase in consistency is really an added benefit of OnBase as well. So when we're evaluating applications for completeness or reviewing supporting documents within OnBase, we're able to take the guesswork out of the equation by setting up file structures that allow us to identify missing documents at a glance. Using OnBase's native file cabinets and folder structure, we're able to, again, dynamically create these application folders after a submission has come in, and the completion or the checking for completion process is much quicker, getting the underwriters the information that they need as quickly as possible. Users can use efficiency tools like notes and workflow tasks, alerts, and notifications to stay organized and on top of their work as well. At a glance, users can survey the information that's held within the folder system. Up at the top, you can see a folder tree where they can navigate to what they need. And once they get into a specific folder, it's going to identify where there may be missing information and if a file is complete. We can also use OnBase to check against compliance rules to make sure that the appropriate application has been submitted for that state, or that an age requirement is met. Using designated tasks defined by your specific requirements allows us to have a defined process to handle each and every scenario consistently, regardless of who's managing the process. So when we think about the days of each underwriter requesting for more information from an agent or a customer in a different way, or each individual pending an application using their own methods, that's gone. Using workflow allows each step of the process to have a clear and defined path that's managed the same way with each user. E-forms can be used in a number of different ways within the new business process, from being used as an initial application on a website through a portal to keeping track of internal notes as well. This specific example for additional requests or additional information requests allows the user to input specific information into the e-form, such as an application name and date and what information they may be missing. And combined with what's called document composition within OnBase, we're able to generate a specific customer communication that has legal language that can be sent out to that customer to request that information. Again, it's a consistent process regardless of who's requesting it, and we're ensuring that we have good communication with our clients moving forward. OnBase increases the visibility into new business processes by providing a native audit trail, allowing for all of the notes and conversations to be documented and kept as a part of your complete file. The OnBase reporting dashboards provide visual representations of key metrics that can be used to meet compliance needs as well. OnBase provides a full history of every action taken within OnBase, and by navigating from the ribbon bar like we talked about before, we can open up the history of any document and really dig into who's viewed it, what actions have been taken, what workflow tasks have been executed. As users review applications and supporting documents, they can use notes and annotations such as ellipses or highlights and a conversation functionality that's very similar to an instant messenger or chat to work collaboratively and document the reasoning behind the decisions that they're making. Again, really allowing you to keep a complete file of every decision and note in the background for compliance. By selecting drop-downs and drop-downs and radio buttons, process owners can easily slice and dice data to get the view that they need. This is really helpful for managers and owners of processes to see where there may be bottlenecks or who's working on what and make improvements and adjustments where needed as you go. The easily configurable nature of OnBase helps insurers meet compliance rules by automating the validation of fields like age and age requirements, appropriate use of application by state, and signature detection. And we can report back on all of this information to hold agents accountable, make sure that we're meeting service level agreements and production levels. And OnBase allows us to really take a step back and for management to spend more time making underwriting decisions rather than chasing down information and trying to figure out metrics that the reporting dashboards provides. When it all comes down to kind of the nitty-gritty, the OnBase new business solutions are really focused on reducing time to decision. Experience coupled with the right tools that allow underwriters to effectively review risk, assess options, and review all of supporting documents related to a submission is really what it takes to make them successful. The more information that's available, the more satisfied an underwriter is going to be. They'll be more productive, and these capabilities and more that we didn't get a chance to touch on today are what's going to allow them to quote more business faster and more accurately. There's no doubt that a new business solution can help your organization continue to grow, but to really transform your business using the power of OnBase, you kind of need to take a two-sided approach to things. Working with Navient, you're able to leverage the power of the OnBase platform as well as Navient's process expertise to really gain the competitive advantage that you need to transform your organization. At the beginning of the presentation, I referenced a pyramid that kind of had three distinct approaches to innovation, and they were broken down into data, digital, and core applications. OnBase and the new business solutions that we discussed today are categorized as digital transformation. But what does that really mean? According to Noverica, digital, quote unquote, is not really a thing, but it's more of an orientation. It's about rethinking the relationship between data accessibility, transactional capabilities, users, and processes in the digital world. It's a new type of mindset. And for organizations to be successful when undergoing a digital transformation, they need to take a strategic approach to this transformation. Traditional ROI metrics don't necessarily apply to innovation and transformation the same way that executives are used to seeing. And this can present some obstacles when we're looking at getting buy-in. As a carrier prepares for the future, adapting to these tides and changes for innovation will become even more important. And 80% of insurance companies said that looking at digitizing and optimizing their specific business processes is what their digital strategy is all about. And that's what we've talked about today. Innovation efforts tend to be categorized either as tactical or strategic in scope. Tactical innovation focuses on fixing processes and incremental improvements based on immediate organizational need, whereas strategic innovation is more speculative and emphasizes and embraces new possibilities. Day-to-day pressures are going to drive business units and innovation groups towards tactical applications. Excuse me. But with help from an outside partner like Navient, we can help you find the sweet spot right in the middle. We can help identify areas of immediate need to address tactical applications. I'm sorry. As well as take a step back and identify larger strategy to help your organization truly transform. Navient's time-tested methodology focuses on process first, then on the components of technology needed to enable that process. The solution design is always validated and revisited during a strategic planning phase that allows us to ensure that your requirements and strategic business goals are always at the center of any implementation and solution. Our solutions will equip you with the tools that you need to be successful now and as you continue to grow in the digital future. To learn a little bit more about digital transformation and how platforms like OnBase can make a significant difference in your data and analytics and reporting, I'd like to invite you to join us for another webinar on September 12th. You can also join us at our annual summit on October 16th and 17th at the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino to learn more about our insurance solutions as a whole and specifically looking at new business processing. We have a specific insurance breakfast that will be held where we're really focusing on this idea of digital transformation. If you visit our website, you can register for free as our guest. So as we round out our time together, I just want to quickly review what we covered and open it up for any questions. So again, we started our time really looking at the predictions that analysts are making about the digital transformation that the insurance industry is undergoing and what that means for the future. So we're not in an immediate danger zone of insurance companies going out of business because of insurtech, but we are looking at significant changes in customer behavior and expectations. It's important for insurance companies to invest in technology that allow them to find the perfect balance between quick and accurate underwriting decisions and new business processes. And finally, we discussed the advantage of partnering with somebody like Navient that can help give you the competitive edge by taking a strategic view of your digital transformation. And with that, I'd like to open it up to any questions that there may be. And thank everybody for joining us. Again, my name is Emma Roloff. I'm an account executive here at Navient. And please feel free to call me or email me with any questions that you may have. I'll stay on the line for just a moment and address any questions, and otherwise have a lovely day.